Hey guys, DBC Anoki here, and welcome to a brand new What If series. This series was suggested by someone in my comments, and it was what if Goku had a twin, but not let it be Raditz. So I thought of one character that could actually pass off as Goku's twin and look like him, and that character is Turles. And with this pair of identical twin brothers, it will have a drastic change in the Dragon Ball story. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like on the video. The like goal is 30 likes. If you can achieve that, I'll make more parts of this story. So let's begin the what if. Our story begins on planet Vegeta, where word goes around that a Saiyan warrior named Bardock has twin Saiyan infants, and their names are Kakarot and Turles. Of course, this surprised the other Saiyans, as twin Saiyans are a rare thing. At this point, they are still in their incubation pods until one day, Bardock decides to send them off planet, because after his recent mission, he's been getting visions, and they seem like they're glimpses into the future. And one of them, he saw that Frieza was destroying planet Vegeta, killing all the Saiyans. So after he tells Gine, both of them steal a space pod. They only steal one, as two would have been suspicious. And Bardock makes the pod set course for a planet that's not on Frieza's radar, and that's far away from planet Vegeta. It's a planet called Earth. Bardock puts them both in the pod, and after Gine says her goodbye, Bardock tells both of them to survive. Then the pod takes off, heading towards Earth. Sooner or later, Frieza does eventually destroy planet Vegeta, eradicating every Saiyan that's on there, with the exception of some of them. A couple of them is Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa. Meanwhile, the space pod continues towards Earth, and everything goes smoothly, up until they reach the atmosphere. The twins start fighting, which makes the pod go off course, and instead of landing at Mount Paozu, they land in the ocean, next to an island, and that island is Master Roshi's. Roshi was taking a nap on his lawn, until he felt something shake, and a wave hits him, which wakes him up. He's wondering what's happened, until he sees something in the middle of the ocean. It looks like some kind of spaceship. Roshi calls for Turtle, and they go towards the pod. And Roshi sees, and it looks like some kind of ball. But when he gets closer, he realizes it's a spaceship. Roshi then takes the pod back to his island. But as he's carrying it, he feels that it's violently shaking. What is this thing? When Roshi got back to his island, he set it down. And he looks through the part that looks like glass. And he sees there's two children in there, and they look exactly alike. They must be twins. And they're fighting. But once Roshi opens the door, they stop fighting and jump out the ship. They both try to attack Roshi, but Roshi easily dodges and blocks all their attacks. Wait, so they were fighting each other just a second ago, but now they're working together? How strange. They continue attacking Roshi until one of them is wide open. Roshi grabs their tail, but it gives off a weird reaction. It makes them immobilized. It seems like a weak point to these children. The other one tries to attack Roshi again, but he vanishes behind him, grabbing his tail as well. They're both really aggressive, but when Roshi grabs their tail, they calm down. So Roshi takes them inside and gives them food, and they both eat a bunch of it, and one of them really enjoys fruit. Roshi still thinks about this, and it still seems weird to him. They're so young, but they're able to fight like that? They're barely able to form words. Roshi then decides he's going to keep an eye on these two, and he might even teach them a few things about martial arts. He sees potential in both of them. He thinks that they can become strong martial artists. So, it's settled. He's going to take care of these kids, and he might even stop by his old student, Ox King, to get a couple of tips from him, as he is a parent. But first things first, if he's going to raise them, he's going to have to give them names. Kakarot still ends up with the name Goku. But as for Turles, Roshi decides to name him after his master. So, he named him Mutaido, until some time passed where they're able to speak, and they both tell them their actual name. It's Kakarot and Turles. Kakarot never hit his head, so he never becomes Goku, or at least the Goku we know. Roshi sometimes calls him Goku, but Kakarot corrects them each time, as he tells him that it's not his name. But both of the twin Saiyans try to explain their origin and their planet, saying that they were sent here by their parents, and that their father told them to survive. Some time passed, and Roshi started teaching them martial arts. They often sparred with each other, and Roshi even gives Kakarot the Turtle School gi. He tried to give Turles one, but Turles doesn't want it. He prefers his Saiyan armor better. Roshi kinda takes offense to this, but he decides that this is better. At least this way he could tell them apart, cause often he does get the two of them confused. I mean, they're identical twins. They look exactly alike. More time passes. Roshi is impressed with the twins' training. They've been there for so long. They pretty much learned everything that Roshi can teach them. They pretty much train with each other now, to the point where they build up a rivalry. Turles is the stronger of the two of them, but Kakarot's right behind him. In fact, they're almost dead even in strength. Turles just has the edge on him. Roshi is trying to think of what to do next with the twins. Maybe he should send them to Korin's tower. That could be the next step of their training. But then a vehicle lands on the island, and a girl comes out of the vehicle. She introduces herself. Her name's Bulma, and she says she's on the hunt for the Dragon Balls. And Kakarot and Turles are surprised. They know about the Dragon Balls. Roshi told them about it. They're just surprised that someone else knows about them besides Ice King and Gohan. This piques the twins' interest, and they want to go on the hunt with Bulma to search for the Dragon Balls. They ask Roshi, and Roshi actually has no problem with this. He thinks that this will be good for them. Roshi tells them to show the world the ways of the Turtle School. So they set out for their adventure. Bulma does soon learn that the twins are aliens from another planet, and she doesn't actually mind that. And finding the Dragon Balls was easy for the group, as in fact, Kakarot and Turles has been training with Roshi for a long time, so they're automatically stronger. Every threat they face, they take them out with ease. And during this journey, Kakarot and Turles meet some familiar faces. Their journey does lead them to Gohan and even Ox King, and it's safe to say that Kakarot knows about Chi-Chi too. Ox King does visit them from time to time, and he does bring Chi-Chi, so the two of them do meet. And the times that she does visit the island, she joins the twins for their training, but she likes to train more with Kakarot. And they do run into the Pilaf gang and even Yamcha, but they take care of them too. So the hunt for the Dragon Balls is done. The twins do head back to the island and tell Roshi about all their journeys and the people they ran into. But then someone else arrives on the island. It's a kid, and he says his name is Krillin, and he's here to train with Master Roshi. Turles then laughs at this. He can see that there's nothing special about this kid. He can tell that he's weak. But Kakarot let his brother know, if he's here to train with Roshi, then he has some kind of potential. Who knows, he might be their next rival. Turles then shrugs this off. So Krillin starts his training with Roshi, and as some time passes, they enter their first tournament. Even Roshi joins under his alias Jackie Chun, as he noticed that the twins are getting overconfident in their strength, so he has to humble them. They all get far into the tournament, until Krillin has to face up against Turles. Turles obviously wins the match, but he's surprised of how much Krillin put up a fight with him. He just thought that he was a weakling who would not get up to his Kakarot's level. But maybe Kakarot was right. Maybe he really does have some promise. And in the semifinals of the tournament, the twins face off against each other, Kakarot versus Turles. And the both of them are really excited about this. It's time to see who's the stronger of the siblings. It's a difficult battle for both of them. With Kakarot's quick thinking and Turles' strategy focus, it was an all-out match, which ended up being a close one, as they both got ringed out. But Turles ends up being the winner, as Kakarot hit outside the ring first before Turles. After the match, Kakarot tells Turles that that was a really fun match, but next time, he'll be the one that wins. They move on to the final match, Turles versus Jackie Chun. But Turles obviously knows that that's Master Roshi in disguise, so their match begins. Roshi has the advantage over Turles, as he knows all his weaknesses. Roshi even tries to grab his tail, but Turles kicks him off. Turles knew that he'll be going for his tail. He knew that it was a weak point, so him and Kakarot trained their tails up to not be a weak point anymore. In fact, now it works as an extra limb. So Turles proves more of a challenge to Master Roshi. But Master Roshi still ends up winning. His experience as a martial artist and a few tricks up his sleeve, he was able to win the tournament. And this experience humbles the twins, making them realize that they're not on top. After the tournament, we entered the Red Ribbon arc, and honestly, it doesn't even last for long. Goku and Turles completely decimates the entire army, killing almost everyone. Yes, killing them. Kakarot never hit his head to become Goku, so he's not as pure as Goku is. He's following his Saiyan nature, and so does Turles. So they both eradicate the entire army, and Mercenary Tao wasn't a problem for them either. As Kakarot and Turles completely overpower him, Tao tries to throw a grenade at them, but Turles kicks it back at him, blowing up Mercenary Tao, leaving the entire army destroyed. Well, at least to their knowledge. Then we headed to another tournament, where Kakarot and Turles meets another interesting man. He has 3 eyes and he's from the Crane School, and his name is Ten Shinhan. And apparently he's Kakarot's opponent in the tournament. Turles is kinda disappointed, as he wanted to fight him, but since he got to fight Master Roshi, Jackie Chun, it's only fair that his brother gets this fight. He can't be hogging all the fun. But this match proves to be a good one, as Kakarot and Tien prove to be a match in strength. And they kind of act the same during their fight, which makes the both of them kind of take a liking to each other, making it a fun fight. But in the end, Kakarot takes the win. And next up is Turles versus Roshi again. But this time, Turles wins. Ever since their last battle, he's been training hard, and he eventually came up with a strategy to beat Roshi. After their match, Roshi kind of grows worried. He's glad that his students surpassed him, but he's worried of how they're going to act afterwards. He saw how Kakarot took a liking to Ten Shinhan, and is worried that he's going to use his strength for evil. So before the next match starts, Roshi talks to Tien, and after their conversation, Tien starts to rethink his evil ways. And the next match is Krillin vs Chaozu, and Krillin wins the match, as he is kind of stronger than what he was in the original story, as he sees the twins are way stronger than he is, so it kind of motivates him to train even harder. But eventually, Krillin fights Kakarot, and Kakarot wins, but he's still surprised at Krillin's growth. But then we move on to the final fight, Kakarot vs Turles, and they're getting excited for this. It's been a while since they last fought each other at full strength, and Kakarot ensures he won't lose this time, but Turles tells him he won't let him surpass him. So the brotherly battle begins, and everyone in the crowd is amazed. Roshi, Tien, Chaozu, Krillin, Yamcha, everyone is amazed at these two. It's like they're on a whole different level than they are. Ten Shinhan is especially surprised. He just fought Kakarot, and it was a close match, but now it seems like he's outputting more strength than he did in their battle. And he's amazed at his brother Turles. He wonders what would happen if he fought him. Their match lasted for a long while, as both of them are evenly matched. But sooner or later, the fight comes to an end, and the person who won was Kakarot. But just barely. He barely pulled off against Turles. And don't forget, they were evenly matched in almost everything: speed, technique, abilities. But after Kakarot fought Tien, he picked up a few things from him, and that helped him get him to victory. Kakarot then thanks his brother for the battle, and all Turles can do is smile, and says that he can't wait for the next one. And the next time they fight, he'll win. They all go off on their own, going to get something to eat, and Kakarot sees that Krillin's not around. So he goes to look for Krillin, and Turles joins him, and they both discover something terrible. They find Krillin, but he's laying on the ground, dead. Kakarot and Turles start becoming enraged. Turles saw Krillin as a great ally and potential rival, but Kakarot, he saw him as a friend. The twins then see Tambourine fly off. They go outside, and then they charge a Kamehameha, and launches it at Tambourine. Tambourine then senses something coming towards him, and he sees a blast. He tries to get out the way, but one of his wings get caught in the blast, which makes him fall towards the ground. Kakarot and Turles then chase him. Then, once they find him, they then fight him together. Tambourine gets overpowered by the duo. Then Kakarot lands the finishing blow, punching him through the chest, killing Tambourine. After that fight, they go try to meet up with the rest of the group, but they're fighting Piccolo's kids. Kakarot and Turles then gets more mad. There's more of them, and they're trying to hurt their friends, their family. They then join the fight, defeating every one of Piccolo's kids. After their defeat, Roshi then explains to the twins that those are the kids of Demon King Piccolo. He must have returned. So, King Piccolo is the one responsible for all this. He's the one that is responsible for Krillin's death. They'll kill him and avenge Krillin. Roshi then warns them they can't fight King Piccolo. It's too dangerous. And even if they wanted to, they don't know where he is. But then Bulma butts in. She sees on the Dragon Radar that there's a bunch of Dragon Balls gathered in one spot, and they almost got all 7. That must be where King Piccolo is. But they see one more Dragon Ball heading to a location. He's about to collect all 7. They have to stop him, but they won't make it in time. In this story, Goku didn't get Flying Nimbus as he isn't as pure as heart due to his Saiyan blood, so he can't ride Flying Nimbus. But someone says that they'll help, and it's Ten Shinhan. He can take Kakarot and Turles to King Piccolo, as he can fly. So eventually, they do find King Piccolo, as he got his last Dragon Ball and he's about to summon Shenron. But Goku and Turles stop him just before he was about to summon him. Then they both fight King Piccolo. They were going to fight him one-on-one, but they realize that's going to be a bad idea, as they might not win them. So they decide to fight together. It's a struggle, but they do end up winning, defeating King Piccolo. Turles wonders what happened if King Piccolo had gotten his wish. Would they have been able to win? Well, it doesn't matter now. As Kakarot is about to finish King Piccolo, something then happens. King Piccolo then gets sealed in a jar. Kakarot and Turles then turn around and see someone else, and their face turn into shock. As that person, he looks exactly like King Piccolo. The person introduces himself. He says his name is Kami. And this is where we'll leave this part off. What do you guys think of the series so far? And do you guys want more? If you do, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And as I mentioned before, memberships are enabled. So if you want to become a member and get What If parts early, then I suggest you become a member. Anyways, I'm DBZ Enoki, and I'll see you guys in the next video.